Hello there, I'm Steve Neesam, a psychotherapist and hypnotherapist with Together Therapy based in Eastbourne. I'm also a member of the Counselling Directory. So I'm here to talk to you about phobias. And if you're watching this, there's a fair chance that you or somebody you know has a phobia. It's a pretty common condition that we can all have from time to time. In fact, we all have a fear of certain things, and often that's very appropriate to have fear of things. It's something that has kept us alive throughout our history of mankind. It's only really a problem if it starts to impact on your life. For instance, if you have a phobia of flying and it means that you're not able to go away on holidays abroad, then that's having an impact on your life. If you have a fear of flying and you are quite happy to holiday in the UK, then there's probably very little you need to do about it. But if you're here, it probably is having an impact on your life in some way. So let's look first of all at what a phobia is. It's an excessive or extreme fear, panic reaction to, could be to a creature, a living creature, a dog or a spider. It could be a situation such as going to a certain place, crowded streets or whatever, or it could even be an object. And what happens is that it can feed itself. We start to get a panic reaction in that situation, and then we start to get panicky about the panic itself, and so the phobia builds up. We avoid that situation, and that then feeds itself, and so in the end we can't even think about that situation without it creating some sort of panic within us. So there's a process that happens to get to that stage. So what can we do in therapy or counselling to help you to work through this? Well, there are many things that we can do, and different counsellors, different therapists will have different approaches, and it's really about finding the approaches and the counsellor that works best for you and with you. I'll give you an idea of some of the things that you can do, but first of all, just to explain what's going on at a physiological level, when we get into a panic zone and we have with a phobia, what happens is that the fight or flight response takes place, which is something which goes back part of our reptile brain, which means that we either want to fight this thing or we want to run away from it. And so that creates things such as the heartbeat going very fast, and that means that we're more likely to be able to run or fight. We've got more energy, more blood pumping to our extremities, and a number of other things. We may not be able to think straight because we don't need to think very much, we need to act. But all of these things are very opposite than what we actually want to do now to most of the things that cause us to have a panic reaction in the modern world. So what can we do? What can you do if you see a counsellor to work through? So let's imagine that you have a fear of dogs. One of the things that we can look at is what's caused that fear of dogs. We'll all have a fear to some degree, a vicious dog, and that would be appropriate. But if you are not able even to go out or to go to a local park because of it, then that could be a problem for you. So one of the things that we can look at is the etiology, or what's caused that. Because often when we understand that root cause, maybe something happened when you were young, and we can work through that. That can then ease a lot of that tension and a lot of that panic when you go, and you can face that situation in the now instead of looking in the past and that being triggered. There are also many other techniques such as systematic desensitization. As I explained earlier, it takes a process to get to the phobia. It's step by step, and we avoid it and it gets worse, and we can reverse that process. So we start to work towards the solution that you want. In this case, it may be, for starters, looking at cartoons of dogs on your screen, and then real dogs, and then maybe listening to dogs or watching videos of dogs before we start to go out into the outside world where dogs may be. So by doing it step by step, this systematic desensitization, you can do the opposite procedure or process that has caused it has led to the phobia in the first place. There are other techniques such as anchoring, which is a technique where we can really get in touch with an empowered part of ourselves, and by doing that and creating, say, a fist or whatever, when we're out in a scary situation, the situation which is creating the phobia, we can use our fists, create that feeling within us, and then we can feel more confident. Obviously there are breathing techniques, there are distraction techniques, there are many techniques that we can use as well. And when you put these together, you'll find that some of them will work well for you, others not so. Then when you work with the ones that do work for you, you can find that the phobia itself starts to extinguish, because it's only there trying to protect you from this danger. Once it realizes that this danger is far less of a danger than it thinks it is, that you're overestimating it, it starts to step down, it starts to extinguish. And that's what happens. So it's not about willpower, it's not about having to overpower it, it's just simply reassuring and letting yourself know that you can work through this. So what is your first step if you want to do something about it? Have a look on Counselling directory. There are many people who are experiencing work with panic attacks and phobias, and you can have a look, either simply the person or the people that you think you like the look of. Have a look at qualifications, have a look at their expertise, etc. And I would suggest contact 2 or 3. And there are 2 things to look at when you are looking for a counsellor or a psychotherapist. One is, does this seem like a person you are going to be able to get on with? That's important because you're going to be opening up maybe some vulnerable stuff about you. And secondly, is this someone I think has got the competence to help me with the issue? If you've got both of those, then you're off to a really good start. So have a look through Counselling directory. There's no need to live with a phobia. We can get through this and we can get to the other side. Have a look through there. If you want to contact me, I'm Steve Neesam at Together Therapy. But whoever you choose and whatever you do, I wish you all the best with it, and to reassure you that it doesn't need to inhibit your life any longer. You can do something about it. So go ahead.